Shalom, shalom, Yahshua. All praises to Yahweh Mashiach. Indeed, His mercy endures forever. We are your servants from the light of Zion. Welcome to Life or Death. Life or Death is a show that the light of Zion presents to you. We had some issues earlier, therefore we had to check everything, fix everything. We had to fix some things. All praises to Yahweh Mashiach. We are able to go live. Let us start with the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai HaMashiach, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him. Whatever we are doing, whether it is in talk or in action, we have to give thanks to the Most High via Hamashiach. We ought to do it for the Most High via Hamashiach. The title of the class is Full Time. Many of us that are currently in the truth, we are part-time Israelites. We do things when they are convenient to us. We keep some laws when we want to. It should not be so easily. We ought to be, we have to be, we must be, and we should be full-time Israelites. Let's see what Hamashiach said in the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 15. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 15 to see what the Most High, to see what Hamashiach instructed John in the Most High for the brothers and sisters in that church. The book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 14. Let's see what Hamashiach had to say to the brothers and sisters in the church of Laodicea. The book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 14. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans, why? These things saith the Amen, the faithful and true, witness the beginning of the creation of the Most High. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. Meaning the brothers and sisters in that church, they were not fully into the truth, meaning that they were keeping the laws. Basically, what they were doing is that they were not full-time Israelites. The same way you see many of us in the truth, once we learned about the truth, we had a lot of zeal. Along the way, after a couple years, the zeal faded. The zeal fades to the point that many of us now, we come to the Sabbath service when we feel like it, or when we desire to. No, we should be full-time Israelites, because the Most High via Hamashiach commands us to gather together on the Sabbath day. It is not a choice, it is a must. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. Israel, once you are in the truth, you have to have the zeal to keep God's commandments. Don't be a part-time Israelite. Be a full-time Israelite. Don't keep the laws because you feel like keeping them. Keep them because the Most High, through Hamashiach, commands you to. So then, verse 16, Revelation chapter 3 and verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm, neither cold nor hot nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Don't be a part-time Israelite. Commit yourself entirely into the truth. Give all yourself to the truth. That means don't keep some laws and reject some other laws. Keep all the laws to the best of your ability. For instance, let's get this law very quick. Let's go to the book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. This law is part of the dietary law. This commandment is part of the dietary law. Many of our people, they have a love affair with pork. Some even say that I have to eat bacon, porkless bacon every morning. Let's see what God says. Let's go to the book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. Because it should not be what we want to do. It should be we are doing what God commands us to do. The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divideth the hoof, and the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Of the flesh shall ye not eat, and the carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. God commands us not to eat pork. Therefore, we are to abstain from pork. We are not to eat pork. Some of you who are in the truth, you are eating pork on the low. Israel, let us not play with the Most High. Let us not play with the Most High. Let us keep the commandments to the best of our ability. Because we know how many years we have already lived. We do not know how many years we have left. Therefore, let us do our best to keep God's laws. Let's go to the book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 5. Let's see what God says. It should not be what we want to do. It should be what God commands us to do. The book of 1 John, chapter 3, that's at verse 4. The book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. When you decide to eat pork, you go against God's laws. Therefore, you are a sinner. You become a sinner. You sin when you eat pork on the low. When you reject the Sabbath day. When you refuse to gather together with your brothers and sisters on the Sabbath day. When you disobey this law. You refuse to keep this commitment. You don't want to stop buying on the Sabbath day. You don't want to stop selling on the Sabbath day. You don't want to stop nourishing your vain thoughts on the Sabbath day. You go against God's laws. We are to do what God commands us to do, Israel. Therefore, let us do our best to keep these laws. Let's see what God says. Let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1, and see something very quick. We are playing with our life when we stray away from the commandments of God. Let's go to the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life. When you keep God's laws, you will be alive. You will be living. God will give you life. He will protect you. Israel, in this kingdom, we do need the protection of the Most High via Hamashiach. In this kingdom, we do need the Most High via Hamashiach to keep us safe. The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. So Israel, let us do our best to keep God's laws. Let us become full-time Israelites. Let us do what we must do to keep God's laws. Let us become full-time Israelites. Shalom Yahshua. May the Most High, through Mashiach, bless you all. Shalom.